In this video, we are going to look at a native browser function that is very similar to how we have written our fetch data function that is used for fetching any kind of data in the browser. But before looking into that, let us try to take a look at the journey that we have taken from the start of how we were fetching data earlier. So here, we are first creating a new instance of XML HTTP request. Then we are sending the URL with the GET request. And then here we are taking care of all the future code that will be executed, whether it is on load or it is on error. Based on this, these two functions will be called in future. So here if you take a look, what we are doing is, this is what we used to call inversion of control. We do not have control on how the future function is getting called because this is being called by XHR. If something goes wrong, we will not be able to take care of that. And that is where promises comes in play. So rather than just using on load and on error, we are also using promises that can act like a receipt and can also help us compose doing multiple things one after another. So here, if you look at it, fetch data is returning a promise, and because it is returning a promise, we are using .then on it. And we know that .then also returns a promise, so you can use .catch or .then or .finally. So here, we were using fetch data function. So in the browser now, when you go ahead and look at a function called fetch, this is a predefined function that comes with the browser. And that can be used to get data, and that acts in a very similar way of how fetch data is acting. So now let's go ahead and see how can we use this fetch method that is present inside every browser. So fetch accepts a URL. That's all. It just accepts a URL, and as soon as you press enter, it will return a promise. What if I want to store them? So I can just store them into a variable data. And when you look at the data variable here, you will see that it has a value that is a type of response. You must be thinking, what is type of response? So whenever you're using fetch to get data, it returns a response kind of object. That is a special object that has methods using which you can convert the data that you're getting into JSON, or you can convert it into text. So here what you can do, after fetching data, you are like, okay, because it returns promise, I'm going to add a .then into it. So you'll say .then, I'm getting access to response and I'm converting this response into JSON format. So whatever you return from this .then, you will get access to the next .then. So what are you returning from here? You're returning whatever you're getting from this URL into a JSON format. So now what we can do, we can just say .then, I'm getting access to user data into a JSON format. I'm just going to log it. So we'll say console.log user data. Press enter, and what do we see here? We see the data in the form of JSON. And why it is in the form of JSON is because first we are using fetch to get the data from this URL. We know that fetch returns a promise, so we are using .then here. Then important thing is, whenever you're using fetch to get data, it returns a special kind of object, and that is response object. Here we are converting that response object into JSON, and we know that .then always returns a promise, so we're using another .then on it. And whatever you return from here, you will get access to that in the next .then. So here we'll get access to user data, and we are saying console log user data. What if I don't want to convert that into JSON? So you can just use other method for that. So for example, I want to convert that into a text. So look at what is the output. So if you see the difference, this is a text just because we got access to response and we converted them into text. The problem with our fetch data method was, even if we needed a text version of the data, we would not be able to get that because here we are always using json.parse. And that is the difference between fetch data that we have created and fetch method that is present by default in the browser. So now we are going to comment this code that we have written, that is fetch data, and convert this to use native fetch function. So wherever we are using fetch data, we'll just say fetch. And then here, the first thing you need to do is to convert them into JSON. So it'll be like dot then you're getting access to response, convert them into response.json. That is an important thing to do. If you're not converting it into JSON, you're just getting the response object. So first you will try to fetch this data. It will return a promise. So you're using .then. From here, you are returning the response you got into a JSON format. So you're getting a user information here. And from that user information, you are returning followers URL. So I don't need any catch here. So I'll just delete it. And here we'll get access to follower URL. And then again from here, we are returning another promise. But this again will be a response object. So what you can do, you can just use a .then inside that also. It is not necessary, but you can do that. But here you're returning a fetch and fetch returns a promise. So again, you will have to convert the data that you're getting into a JSON format. So you'll get response and you'll say response.json. Don't worry about it. What we are going to do, we are going to remove these 3 lines and see what is happening with this. So refresh it. Let's look at data promise. You can see that it is fulfilled. It means that the fetch is working properly. If you look at the data here, you can see it is a response object. So just because we are using fetch, fetch always returns a response object. So we will have to use .then to convert them into JSON, and after that we can get access to all the users. Now when you refresh it, you will see that you have access to 30 users who are following this user here. So here you're just logging the message. Instead of that, if you want to put something on DOM, you can do that. So what I'll do, I'll just go ahead and create a UL here. And here we are just going to select the UL. So we'll say let UL is equal to query selector, and we just need to select UL. So here we will get access to a collection of users. So what we are going to do, we are going to map over it and put it inside UL. So we'll use users.forEach. We'll get access to individual user, and here we are going to create a li, and we are going to just say li.innerText is equal to user.login. And after doing that, we just need to append this li into ul. So we'll say ul.append li, right? We'll save it, we'll refresh it here, it will fetch data, and after that you can see those 30 users name is here right now. So in that way, we learned about using the native browser method to fetch data, and we got to know that whenever you use fetch, it returns a promise, and the data gets returned into a format known as response object. The reason you get response object is there you can convert the response object into specific format that you need, whether it can be a JSON or it can be text, depending on whatever you need at certain given point of time.